Hi folks, I'm Ann Webb, Policy Director with Common Cause North Carolina. In this week's video, we're going to be taking a deep dive into Senate Bill 749, a proposal that would make radical changes to our state board of elections. Number 1. Before we dive in, we encourage you to follow media coverage about the disastrous state budget process happening right now. In short, corporate interests have poured enormous sums of money into legislative leaders' coffers, and in return, they are trying to ram through approval of unpopular new casinos across the state. Members of both parties have called this lack of transparency foul play. Number 2. In the midst of the budget gridlock, the House Rules Committee sent Senate Bill 749 to the House floor, with a likely vote coming this week. There are 3 things to know about this legislative power grab. First, Senate Bill 749 would strip the governor's power to appoint members to the state and county boards of elections. No surprise here, legislative leaders want to give themselves the authority to make all of those appointments. Second, the bill would create gridlock by creating state and county boards of elections with even numbers of members, split between Republicans and Democrats, and no tiebreaker. Third, the newly appointed state and county elections boards and directors would start in July 2024, just 4 months before the presidential election. That's a recipe for chaos. Number 3. You might be asking, does this really affect me? Or is this just infighting between the governor and legislative leaders? Consider this. Under Senate Bill 749, the party with a majority in the legislature will have complete control over elections boards appointments, despite allowing the minorities party's leaders to make recommendations. Here's why. The legislature will need to pass a bill with these appointments by a simple majority. However, if the party in power doesn't like a recommendation from the minority party, they can simply stall the bill until the minority party puts forward someone the majority likes. And the political party's nominees are merely suggestions, so even local parties lose power in this scheme. What's more, the governor cannot veto appointments bills, so a divided government would not balance out the legislature's power here. Number 4. Perhaps even more concerning, the result of deadlock on the elections boards could spell disaster. Take early voting. If a county board cannot pass a unanimous early voting plan, then the state board must generally step in to establish a plan for that county. But if the state board cannot muster a majority for an early voting plan, the county is left with the default, a single early voting site at the County Board of Elections office. Imagine what that could look like in a place like Mecklenburg County, where more than 365,000 people voted early in the 2020 presidential election. The Board of Elections office doesn't even have enough parking spaces to accommodate that level of demand. The likely result? Many voters will not make it to the polls. We need your help to defeat this attack on our election system. Go to ccnc.me/ourvotes and tell your House member to vote no on Senate Bill 749. Number 5. Are you ready to speak out? Our Unite NC Town Hall Tour rolls on across North Carolina. Next up, we travel to Kannapolis on Monday and Hickory on Tuesday. Learn more and find a Unite NC Town Hall near you at ccnc.me/UniteNC. Those were 5 things you need to know in North Carolina politics this week. Thanks for tuning in, and find us online anytime at commoncausenc.org.